Yeah, great in that area. You know, it was a big focus for us. We're always trying to get better. And that was something we worked hard on this week, and the players bought into it. You know, you have to be able to pressure the quarterback, and sometimes Big 12 play takes that thought process away from you, but I thought we got after it today.
Well, thank you. Our very first question here is going to come from Scott Wright from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Scott.
Pass pressure aside, what else stood out to you today?
You know, we gave up some big plays, you know, and certainly that's something we're working hard not to do. But the resiliency, you know, they were a good offense, good team. It's what we're going to see in the Big 12. And just the fact that our guys could continually bounce back to be put in tough situations, you know, and just to really continue to be willing to put the game on their back, you know, and one bad play doesn't lead to the next if you move on. So I thought we did a lot with, you know, getting corrections made, moving our strategy around, and, you know, it just seems to flow because we got experienced guys.
How important was that resiliency considering how much your defense was on the field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was hot. It was hot. You know, we tried to play a lot of guys. I think that's what you're going to, you know, Coach Gundy said and continues to say, you know, we're not in good enough shape yet, but I don't know if anybody is. You know, but Coach Glass still working hard on it. But, you know, you just have to play one play at a time. I know it's a cliche, but that's what we sell. You know, you got to win the game on that play. And the last play doesn't matter and all those cliches, but I think you saw it out there today.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, Zoom is really a struggle sometimes, and the audio is not super coming off that computer. If you don't mind, can you either get a little bit closer to the computer or maybe just speak a little bit louder? I think this is one of those Zoom things.
Right. You want me to start speaking louder, right?
Well, we appreciate you. I'll tell you what, hey, our next question is going to come from Garen Emig from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Garen.
Jim, how are you?
I'm good, Garen. Good to see you.
Yeah, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Garen. Am I on mute?
Well done. I knew you could come. I knew you'd come through in the clutch, Jim. You always do, yeah?
I can't say always. It's been certainly an education.
Yeah.
But, you know, you see some of the things that happened today around the Big 12, which I haven't had a chance to look at yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Just it's obviously going to be weird, especially at the outset until everyone sort of gets into a flow. If you're ever going to get into a flow, with that going on, just the importance of making a play, however and whenever you have to, just the need to make plays through all this weirdness.
One of the things I try to sell is see a little to see a lot. See a little to see a lot, you know, and that's what it really boils down to. Another cliche, you know, do your job. But everything that's going on around you boils down to, you know, where are your eyes? What are you looking at? What's your direction on that play? And you know, really focus. Now, this is easy. It's never easy, but it's easier because we have experienced guys who understand the system. So when I move pegs around, they react quickly, you know. Coachable, you know, to be able to tell them one thing and see it on the field. It's a big deal. So there's no substitute for that experience.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jenny.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Jenny.
Good to see you. And I've never heard that Forrest Gump line ever before, ever. Hey, you guys got pressure, which we talked about, but some early it seemed like the first half, tackling at sort of the point of contact was maybe not great, but second half, those guys cleaned it up. Did you see some improvement? Did you talk about that at halftime?
Yeah, it was a huge focus at halftime. You know, our tackling was so good in the first game. You know, in the COVID era, we probably tackled once or twice in camp, and our tackling was so good. because we try to practice our tackling position even when we're not tackling, and you're exactly right. We did not do a good job in the first half. And it's just a big, all you can do is talk about it and just, and guys know, and they understand. And that's that experience, they know and they understand, and they're able to correct it.
Hey, on another note, Trace Ford obviously had the strip there that led to the touchdown. He seems to be, we seem to see sort of the possibilities of him moving around and just doing stuff from such varying angles. What do you like about the way he's playing right now?
Like I said, we knew he was always a great talent. He came into camp with a chip on his shoulder and a little bit of an attitude, and you start to see him develop into a football player and start to understand what we've been telling him about how to move around, how to play in different positions. And he's got such a quick first step, and he's a guy who loves to play, but he's quiet. He's really quiet. So, I think he's just, everything's starting to click for him. And it's there's no ceiling for the guy. There's no ceiling for him. I mean, he is a legitimate talent.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, Dan, our last couple questions. Our next question is going to come from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Jim.
Good to see
Tyron
you.
Irby, he obviously had that fumble return. What have you kind of seen from him throughout this preseason and these 2 weeks?
Another, he's a quiet guy, right? He's just trying to learn his way, coming from JC. I mean, our culture has really enveloped him. I think that's the great thing about what Coach Gundy and Coach Glass have built here, is that the culture can carry you along. So, I feel like the guy's still just getting his feet wet. I think he's going to be a great player for us. But he's really just getting his feet wet, and you'll start to see more and more from him as we move on.
Did you think he was going to get caught on that return? He almost did.
I don't think I really want to say what I think there at the end, because he was tired. He wasn't carrying the ball very well. Those are moments in my life where I kind of see my whole life flash in front of my eyes. Everything kind of slows down, and I'm in the box now, so nobody can hear me. It's like yelling at your television. It's like finish, put the ball away. That kind of stuff. But he got in, right? They can't take it away.
That's all that matters in that situation. That's all that matters.
We can coach from that. We can with peace and love, we can just coach that and say, everybody look at this. Let's just do better next time at finishing and securing the ball.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim.
I love how you delivered that. That was like so dry wit, but awesome. Our final question is going to come from Joseph Fazio from the Ocali. Go ahead, Joseph.
Hey, Coach. You guys were able to get a lot of pressure on Jared Dagey, especially from players like Calvin and Amon. Just what do you think of their two performances, getting combined 18 tackles and 3 sacks?
Amon is, he's the cog that runs our defense. He understands exactly where to fit. He was not happy with his performance last week. I mean, it was fine, but he expects a lot more of himself. So we talked about him, he's best when he's playing instinctually, when he knows the play before it happens. And I think you saw that a lot today. I mean, he was tuned in. Calvin is, he's just such an interesting player, because he has a great first step. He's got a nose for the ball, but he's been out for a year. So I think it took Calvin maybe a game to get back into the flow. And I think, with him and Trace, we got something going really good.